Fala aí galera, beleza, beleza, beleza? Aqui quem fala é o Ranger e hoje eu trago para vocês, senhores, a continuação de VAMPYR, beleza? A gente tinha parado essa série aí por causa do World War Z, beleza? Mas agora estamos voltando. Então, pelo que eu me lembre, na última gameplay, né, que fizemos, que só tá tendo live do VAMPYR aqui no YouTube e os vídeos também. Eu só me lembro que estamos pegando informações com os moradores locais para descobrir alguma coisa. Investigue as ações de Darius. Beleza.
I will return later. Nobody at home.
Cadê?
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Beleza. Perguntas pessoais. Tá, requer pistas. Sua vida em Londres.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in
Alguma
life?
figura
The
local
region itself is something to
intrigante.
see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Goodbye, Miss
Requer
Swan.
pistas.
Perhaps we'll talk again.
Tá, se não me engano, eu acho que já falamos com
Has
ela.
been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial. The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems, as long as you have the money.
Se a gente encontrar algo. Já falamos com esse carinha também.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Cheap price.
Não, isso que eu quero.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not
Não falamos com
apologize,
ele.
my son. Father Tobias Whittaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the
Estou
Pembroke
procurando
Hospital?
enfermeira.
I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Porque esse
Before
olha.
coming to London, She was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Beleza. Sua vida em Londres.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Só acredito em fatos.
Well,
Estou
I
ouvindo.
suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your
Vamos mais a
answer to
fundo,
this?
vamos mais a fundo.
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No,
What is left then?
cleansing fire.
Tell me,
Como
Tobias,
pretende purificar a
what
cidade?
exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity
Vou colocar o
hidden behind
padre.
this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
Eita. Perguntas pessoais. Se dá,
Have you
você
any
tem uma
friends?
família?
Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him
Envio
on
para
some
pregar
preaching
pelas
crusade
ruas.
during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Quando ficar sem pescocinho também.
I have had enough for
Você não
tonight.
fez isso. Beleza. Chantagem. Descobrimos qualquer coisa sobre ela, mas.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan.
Eu acho que a gente pode achar uma coisa boa com esse repórter aí, hein, pessoal.
I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Sei lá.
Have you any idea of the danger you face
Não
in
tem medo de
these
sair à
streets at
noite?
night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
Why are the
Nem
newspapers
jornal
keeping
fala sobre
silent about the
epidemia.
Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his
President
colleagues would
Cambridge.
dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw
Você acha
many
que sua vida
reporters
pela
do the same
verdade?
during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir.
Não
And
está
that's why I'm
interessado.
an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Perguntas pessoais. Já fizemos
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
perguntas. Beleza.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Fala com essa
To ask you
senhorita.
a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night.
Achei que
Reads
essa
penny dreadfuls.
conseguir alguma coisa com
Truth.
o analista, mais nada.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
Uma muda.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Que cara é esse? Eu, hein? Que isso?
Steady, boys!
Caraca, mano. Será que é o discípulo do padre? Ele tá com um bastão com uma crucifixo lá na ponta? Quase certo. Certo, seu discípulo do padre. Pá. Vai, vai. Caraca, mano. Pô, é isso que o cara tem? Mano, que pó é esse? Entendi nada. Corre, corre, corre. Mano, que isso? Que luz é essa que o cara tem no negócio? Como ele fez isso? Eu botei a câmera pro outro lado, pessoal, pra eu poder enxergar a barra de sangue. Pra saber o que eu tô fazendo. Opa, corre. Vai não. Que isso, fera? Cara é forte pra caraca.
I'm cheap and I'm clean.
Falei com você, filho?
Pay me a glass and I'll be gentle. Pay me a bottle and I'll
Parei de não.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few
Ele tá
questions.
querendo.
I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Estou procurando a enfermeira
Do you know
por aí.
Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak
Get
about
on station.
starvation if you've never been
Skepticism.
hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Está
Are you
falando por
talking from
experiência.
experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Que
Christina,
isso?
have you been
Na
examined?
lata.
The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Beleza. Sua vida em Londres. Perguntamos isso.
Tell me
Conta-me
about
sobre
Are you
você.
joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always
Não
thought
jogo
I
você.
was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Tell me about
Beleza.
yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Beleza. Foi. Já foi.
Goodbye, miss.
Beleza.
Take care of yourself as best you can.
Previna doenças. Cuspe, tosse, espirros em público propagam a gripe. Ela se espalha pelas gotas de salivas e coriza. Evite tossir em público. Beleza. Tá, mas não quero saber disso. Já vemos. Eu gosto da casinha desse cara aqui que ele não quer abrir a porta. Cadê ele? Pra cá. Não abre. Eu gosto dessa área aqui, mano.
No one's there.
Ah, mano, só vazia essa casa. Tá, aqui é o onde eu vim. Tá fingindo que não tá com ninguém agora não. Essa porta aqui não tem ninguém em casa. O cara não quer atender. Fadiga, enxaqueca. Oração que já viemos daqui. Mano, vou dormir. Pra onde no mapa? Cá pra trás. Pra cá. Pra lá. O jogo ajuda direito, mano. Descer. Cigarros, anel. Já viemos aqui. Garrafa pequena, estojo de cigarros. Primeira vez que a gente entra nesse coisa aqui. Tem coisa aqui. Coisa aqui. Tá, vou deitar. Vamos ver. Tá aí, filho. E podemos alterar. Coagulação. Não, só tenho quanto eu tenho, mano? Eu esqueci onde que mostra isso. $600. Tá. Coagulação. 3 segundos de controle. Bloqueia o sangue do alvo nas veias e o deixa indefeso. 1.300. Tá, isso agora não. Cura. 1.300 também de experiência. $2.000. 1.000. Caramba, mano. Tática. Isso aqui não dá. Você perde o controle e deixa a besta tomar conta por um breve período. A besta se teletransporta para todos os inimigos à sua volta e golpeia furiosamente. Ira supremas. Algumas habilidades são tão poderosas que são temidas até pelos vampiros. A fúria é uma delas. O vampiro perde o controle e deixa a besta fazer todo o serviço sujo. A besta se teletransporta para os alvos em volta e golpeia com uma fúria incontrolável. Devido a essa essência obscura dessa habilidade, ela não pode ser usada frequentemente. Liberte a besta, amigo. É mais poderosa do que você imagina. Depois. Condição corporal. Condição corporal nível 3, não. Boa forma, aumenta o vigor. Olha isso aqui. Aumentar o vigor. Sangue. Isso aqui depois faremos. Precisar de sangue. Aumenta só que precisar de sangue, de mordida. E vamos fazer isso aqui depois. Regeneração rápida. Aumento da regeneração da sua vida ao usar a mordida em combate. Beleza. Então é isso, galera. Eu vou encerrar o vídeo por aqui. Tá ok? Espero que tenham curtido. Espero que tenham gostado. Peço que dê... vamos voltar aí com a série de Vampyr. Beleza? E dia 14, se eu não me engano, teremos de novo o lançamento aí de um gamer. Mas obviamente eu não vou trazer dia 14, mas sim depois, por volta aí do dia 16. Tá ok? Então é isso, galera. Valeu e